KPM.
The crown has been stolen. Agent 017 to 018. Over. The chicken ate the corn. The chicken ate the corn.
Agent 018 responding, what, chicken ate what, corn?
That's code word for the criminal stole the crown. Come to the coop.
The coop?
That's code word for the crime scene.
Okay, I'll be there in a minute. Hello everyone! You are now watching Level 2 on Didik TV KPM together with me, Agent 018 or Sean Steven as your host. And for today, we have our wonderful teacher joining us today. We have Miss Ching or Agent 017.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, Sean.
Alright, and we would also like to introduce our sign language interpreter of the day. We have Mrs. Zahra Tol, who will be our sign language interpreter. Hi! How are you today? Awesome! And of course, I believe we also have our other secret agents as well as our pupils who are joining us online as well. Let's see who they are. Hi everyone!
Hello.
There we go, our secret agents logging in online. Could you kindly introduce them to all of us watching right now?
My pleasure. Hello everyone, I'm Miss Ching, and in this lesson, you can call me Agent 017. So now I'm in the museum, the Royal Museum of Arts and Antiques, to investigate the case of the lost crown. So with me, I have got four secret agents who will be helping me. So on the upper right side, I have got Nur Alena Safiah binti Othman from SK Putrajaya Precinct 81. And beside her, I have got Zarif Imran bin Azharuddin, also from SK Putrajaya Precinct 81. And at the bottom, I've got Mah Wei Kern. Could you wave to us? Hello, hello. And I've also got Tan Jia Xuan. Now, both of them are from SJKC Kiat Hua H, Kedah.
Alright, so it looks like our pupils or secret agents are now online. But before we continue, I'd like to ask you to give us a thumbs up if you are ready for our lesson today. Give me a thumbs up if you are.
Yay!
There we go, our agents are ready. So, teacher, I'd like to ask you, what will our lesson be? Oh, what will our mission be for today?
Alright, let's go to the title slide. Now, if you can see, our title here states Secret Agent, the Lost Crown.
Ooh.
This lesson is derived from the Year 6 textbook, Unit 4, Cool Jobs. As a secret agent, do you think my job is cool? What do you think, boys and girls? Is my job a cool job? Why? Zarif nods his head. Why is my job cool, Zarif?
Why secret agent is a cool job because you can go on secret missions and you can prevent crime.
That's right. I go on secret missions. I also investigate and prevent crimes for high-profile individuals. Okay, so now, like I said, I'm in the Royal Museum. There are also many other cool jobs in the Royal Museum. So today we are going to look at what are some cool jobs. Do you know any cool jobs in the museum? Anyone would like to give a try?
A security guard.
Okay,
Yes,
Wei Kun
that's, Wei
says
Kun, yeah.
the security guard. Very good. That's the right answer. A security guard works in the museum. Anyone else has a different answer? You want to try another one?
I
Yes,
see
Jia Xuan.
Alina and yes, Jia Xuan as well.
The heiress.
Sorry again?
The artist.
The artist, you mean? Ah, very good. The artist. There's always someone who
Yes.
does art in the museum, right? Very good. Elena, you raised your hand as well. You wanted to say something?
A museum director.
Oh, the museum director.
Whoa.
Very good. Now, I think they have gotten most of the jobs correct in a museum. You have a museum director, which is someone who manages the museum, right? Someone who is in charge of the museum. And like Jia Xuan said, you have the artist, someone who creates artwork, someone who plans the exhibitions, where to put these things, right? And we also have, let's say, the security guard. The security guard guards the museum. And there's one more. There's also a museum educator,
Oh.
which is someone who gives tours to visitors and explains exhibits. All right. So now that we know what are these cool jobs in the museum, let's look at what we are really going to do today. All right, apart from solving the crime. So we've got two learning standards here.
Okay.
The first one is writing. 4.2.1, give detailed information about themselves and others. So today we are going to focus on others, right? And speaking 2.2.1, keep interaction going in short exchanges by checking understanding of what a speaker is saying. All right, so our lesson objectives for today is the first one for writing, collect information through observation and reading to complete a case file with at least 4 sentences with guidance. So we will be doing this together.
Okay.
And for speaking, you will participate in a role play to ask and answer questions using the language structure.
All right. That sounds amazing and also very interesting indeed. And also, I have a board next to me which also shows what we'll be doing throughout the day. I think we have completed the first one, right?
That's right,
What
Sean.
are cool jobs? And we have completed the first task for our mission for today. Let's take a short break. I think we deserve that. Let's take a short break. Be back to you after this for Level 2 on Didik TV KPM.
Didik TV KPM.
Welcome back, Secret Agents. You're now watching Level 2 on Didik TV KPM with me, Agent 018, as well as Miss Ching, Agent 017. So let's continue our mission. What is our task for now?
Very good, Sean. You remember our progress board earlier?
Yes.
We have done the first one. We have identified what are cool jobs. So now we are moving on to the second one where we are going to observe, read and write.
Aha.
What are we going to observe? What are we going to read? And what are we going to write? So now if you look right here in front, I have got a case file. So a case file is where you gather evidence to help you solve a case, right? So before the lesson, I have given you a worksheet that looks like this. If you have it, could you show it to me on the screen? Can I see your little worksheet? That looks like this. You have it? All right, very good. You're all well prepared. So let's look at what's inside our case file. Okay.
Ooh, that's a very big case file. For
All
a big case like
right.
this.
So now we are going to gather information through 3 methods. The first method, we are going to observe clues at our crime scene. This is our crime scene. And we are going to read a witness statement.
Okay.
So a witness statement is someone who has been there at the time of the crime, who saw it happen and has something to say about it.
Ah.
Okay, and we are going to also look at some log records or data, and we're going to analyze it. And that is what we're going to put in on our task sheet here. So are you ready, little agents?
Give us a thumbs
Okay.
up if you are. There we go.
Very good. Okay, so it's time to observe the crime scene. Okay, so now in your task sheet, if you look over here, the first thing here it says agent. So that's where you can put your name. All right? So I'm going to put my name, agent 017 and 018.
All right.
All right. Okay, and the next one, what is the crime? We are going to answer the first question. What is the crime? Based on what you have seen earlier, would anybody like to try or give it a go and tell us what's the crime that has happened here? Anyone? Yes,
right.
I see Zarif raising his hands.
Someone stole the crown.
Yes, that's right. Someone stole a crown. The crown is missing. It's not here. So what can we write? We can write the crown has been stolen.
Ah.
Okay. It's been stolen. Very good. Now we are going to look at the next one. Where did it happen? Where did this crime happen? So we are coming back to the crime scene. Maybe there are some clues here that can tell you where the crime happened. Who would like to try this? Where are we? Yes, Elena.
It happened at the Royal Museum of Arts and Antiques.
Very good.
Well
it happened at the Royal Museum of Art and Antique. Okay, now if you can see that, you can write it down. For those who are at home, you can also join us by answering the questions here.
All
And the
right.
next one, we have got when did it happen? But I don't think we can answer this question yet, right? We don't
Yeah.
have enough clues,
That's
Agent
right.
018.
I don't think so. We
We don't
haven't.
have enough clues yet.
Correct.
So we are going to go to observation of the crime scene. We are going to observe the crime scene first. So let's have a closer look. Maybe
Okay.
Agent 018 can help me.
That's right. I have my magnifying glass and I'll just look around. For
Look around. Do you see
clues.
anything?
And aha! Oh, you're pointing right at it. I see number 1 over there. And it shows
Oh, what's this?
the place where the crown should be is empty.
So who wants to give it a go? What can you observe here? What can you see? Okay, I see Waken raising his hands.
Yes.
The glass is not broken.
Oh, that's a very good observation.
Oh.
The glass is not broken. Usually you want to steal something, you would break the glass, right? But not this time. So the glass isn't broken. So that's our first observation.
Very
The
interesting
glass?
observation indeed.
Isn't broken. So let's have a look at the second clue. What should be our second observation?
Okay, let
Let's
me try
have
look
a look.
again. Nothing here.
Clue number 2.
Aha!
Aha! What's that? Okay, maybe the camera can show you. What's that? Jashan, would you like to give it a go and tell us what do you see on the floor?
There's a first step.
Ah, you're right. There's a footprint. I hope that isn't mine.
It looks a bit too small for me as well. But
Okay,
that's a
but
clue.
That's a clue. So let's write it down. There is a footprint on the ground.
Very good pair
So
of
that's
eyes you
our
have
second clue. There's a footprint. The glass isn't broken, but we need one more clue.
there. Maybe I'll just start from the footprint itself.
Okay, let's look
Nothing
for one more.
here.
In the crime scene. Do
Aha!
you see anything here?
I found one. It's over
Found
here.
one. All right. Let's have a closer look.
Ooh, what is this?
What's that? Anyone would like to tell me what do you see on the floor? Yes, Zarif.
There are keys on the floor.
Ah, there's a there's a set of keys on the floor.
right.
That's weird. There shouldn't be keys on the floor of a museum, right?
I don't
Agent
think so.
018?
It doesn't look like a museum exhibit as well. So,
So that should be a clue.
that's right.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's write it here. There is a set of
Keys.
There is a set of keys. So now we have got 3 sentences. Let's move on to the second one. We are going to look at a witness statement.
Okay.
So I have got a witness statement right here, and I believe you have as well. Those of you who are watching from home, you can look at it here and read it together to look for clues. All right? Who would like to read this for me? I see maybe, okay, how about Elena, you read it for us.
Yes.
My name is X. I visited the museum on the 5th of July 2022. I have been here since 6 p.m. At 8 p.m., I heard some footsteps in the gallery, but there was no one. I called the security guard and waited for 10 minutes until he arrived.
Thank you, Elena. Wow, so this person named X has been there at the museum. So now I think we can answer one question.
But just before we answer that question, I noticed in the observation of the crime scenes number 3, there is a key.
Oh, a set of keys.
Ah,
I'm
my mistake.
sorry.
Yes.
A set of keys.
All right.
My bad.
Let's go back to this.
Yes,
When
let's go back
did
to this one.
happen?
When did it happen? Are you able to answer this question now after reading the witness statement? Who would like to give it a go? Who would like to try? Okay, Wei Kern, go ahead.
It happened at 8 p.m.
At 8 p.m., that's right. What date did it happen? Maybe Jashan, you want to tell us what date it happened? Is there any date mentioned?
Yes,
What is the date?
5 July 2022.
Ah, very good. So now we know when it happened. We can write it down on our case file. It happened on the 5th of July, 2022 at 8 p.m. All right, so we have got 2 parts done. Now, if you remember, earlier we see that the case is not broken
Yes.
and there's a set of keys on the floor.
That's right.
So that tells us something. Could it be that someone who stole the crown could be someone who is working at the museum?
Could it be?
Could they be our suspects?
Oh.
Now, if you remember earlier, we learned about 4 cool jobs in the museum. I think these 4 of them are our main suspects today. So we are going to look at the museum director, the security guard,
Okay.
the artist, and the museum educator.
Okay.
They are our prime suspects. Now to know more about these 4 people, we are going to look at their access card log data.
Aha, yes.
We are going to look at when did they enter or when did they exit the building.
Okay.
So this will give us a clue to know if they are there at the time of the crime. All right. So now we are going to fill in this part. Would you take a look at this? And we are going to write what time did they enter and what time did they exit the gallery. All right? So let's start with the museum director.
Yes.
The museum director. Does anyone wants to try?
All right, Zarif again. raising
Okay,
his
I
hand.
see Zarif raising his hand. Museum director.
The museum director entered at 8 a.m. and exited at 10 p.m.
8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Okay, very good. So we got 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. All right. And next we got the security guard. Let's look at the security guard. So there's an enter time and an exit time. Let's look for the security guard. Would someone like to try this? Okay, Wei Kern.
The security guard entered at 7 p.m.
And what time did he exited?
He exited on 6th of July, 6 a.m.
Ah, very good. So he entered at 7 p.m. and he exited at 6 a.m. the next day. Does that mean that the security guard is on a night shift? Could be, right? He's
Yeah.
working at night. He came
Correct.
in at night. Okay, that gives us a clue. Let's look at this again. Now, what about the artist? The artist, who would like to try this? Yes, Elena, I see you raising a hand. What time did the artist enter?
The artist entered at 7:50 p.m.
7:50 p.m. And what time did the artist exit?
It's not stated.
Ooh, it's not stated. There is no exit time for the artist. That is suspicious.
Very suspicious indeed.
7:50 p.m. to an unknown time. And how about the museum educator? We've got one more. How about Jiashun? Would you like to answer this one? The museum educator? What time did the museum educator enter and exit?
The museum educator entered at 9 a.m. The museum educator exit at 5 p.m.
Very good. So now we are going to write this down here. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So based on these clues, we know that who is at the crime scene at the time of the crime. And we have observed, we have also written what is the crime, where it happened, when it happened. So it looks like we have got a complete case file right here. This is a complete case file. We are now one step closer to solving the mystery, little agents. Well done. So I think we need to check something off on our board.
That's right. I'll head on over to the board over there. And let's see. For number 2, we have observed, we have read, and also we have written or completed the case file. Is that true?
Yes, that's right.
All right. So for that, we have completed task number 2. Well done to all our little secret agents. And right now, shall we take a short break?
Yes, we shall.
That's right. And we're going to be back to you after this on Didik TV KPM.
Didik TV KPM.
Tahap! Welcome back, secret agents. You are now watching level 2 on Didik TV KPM together with me, Sean Steven, as well as our other secret agent, Miss Ching, Agent 017, to continue our mission. So what are we going to do for now?
Thank you, Sean. So earlier we have read a witness statement and we have even wrote down clues, right, about the case. So now we are going to, if you remember, in the witness statement earlier, there are 2 words that are written in black color. Those words are for and since. So today we are going to learn how to use these 2 words in a sentence. So in the witness statement, we know that the witness had been there since 6 p.m.
Yes.
And he waited for 10 minutes until the security guard arrived. So now if you notice, since and for, both of these words are used with expressions of time to tell time, right? And if you have your Academy stars, you can turn with me to page 51. For is used to show a period of time. We use it together with a period of time. For example, for 12 years, for an hour, for 3 weeks, or for a very long time. So we use for to indicate a duration of time. Okay? And the word since is used to indicate a specific point of time in the past. One very exact moment. Okay, so for example, we can say since 2001, since Tuesday, since 4 o'clock, or since I lived here. Okay, now to ask a question, we usually start our question with how long. So we can say, how long have you been a secret agent? And I can answer you by saying, I have been a secret agent for 1 year, or I have been a secret agent since 2021. So I can use for and since to tell you how long, but both of them are used either to tell a duration of time or a specific point in time. Alright, so now let's look at some examples here. If I were to give you 3 words, okay, if I were to give you 3 words, how long, no, and your best friend. If you noticed earlier, I used the present perfect been. So here I give you 3 forms of verb. I give you the present tense, the past tense, and the present perfect tense. We usually use the present perfect tense, which is known, the third one. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a little while. You look at the words that I give you here on the screen and try to make a question for me using these keywords. All right?
So the keywords are given are how long, no, and your best friend.
Yes.
Okay.
Would anyone like to try to make a sentence or a question for me? Yes, I see Wei Ken raising his hand already.
How long have you known your best friend?
Very good. How long have you known your best friend? So we use the word have because we are saying you, so we don't say has, but we say have. How long have you known your best friend? I have known my best friend since I was 4 years old. Or I can say, I have known my best friend for 23 years.
Wow.
Okay, so you see how I'm answering the question using for and since? All right, you got it right, Wei Ken. Well done. Pat on your back.
Awesome
Let's
job.
try one more. Let's look at this one. How long, live, and Putrajaya. So I give you the 3 different verbs here. Live, the same verb but different forms of the verb. So I've got live, lived, and the present perfect is also lived. Alright, would any one of you like to try this?
Okay, we got Zarif waving his hands.
Okay, Zarif.
How long?
Yes, go ahead, Zarif.
How long have you lived in Putrajaya?
Okay, very good. That's correct. How long have you lived in Putrajaya? So I can answer by saying, I have lived in Putrajaya for 4 years, or I can say, I have lived in Putrajaya since 2019. Alright, so you get a better idea now? Do you understand better how you're supposed to use for and since? And also to ask questions, we use how long. Alright, so now we are going to go to our next activity.
Alright.
But first, maybe we can check off one. We
Okay,
can check off
sure.
the third one.
So our third task has already been completed. For since we know
Yes.
of it and we know how to
we know
use
how to use it, right?
it. Yes.
Okay, so now we can go to the next activity, which is to question the suspects. If you remember, we have got 4 suspects earlier.
Yes.
They are the museum director, museum educator, the artist, and the security guard.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give each of you one role. Alright? And your friends are going to take turns to ask you a question using the keywords that I'm going to give you. And you are going to imagine you are that person. How would you answer the question? Okay? So those of you who are at home, you can do this together with us as well. Let's assign the roles.
Okay.
Maybe I can have one person as the museum director. How about Elena? Would you like to be the museum director? Okay, and maybe the security guard. How about Wei Kern? Wei Kern as the security guard and Zarif as the artist. How about Zarif be the artist? And Jia Xuan can be the museum educator. Alright? Okay, so let's have a look at our questions. Now the first question that I have, we are going to question the museum director.
Alright.
It says here that the museum director seems to trust the security guard very much. The museum director doesn't think that it is the security guard who stole the crown. So we are going to find out why. Perhaps we can ask the museum director a question. Let's look at the words given. We have got how long, no, and security guard. Okay, so let's ask a question. Maybe Jia Xuan, would you like to ask the museum director a question?
How long have you known the security guard?
Okay, very good. How long have you known the security guard? That's a correct question, Jia Xuan. Well done.
Well done.
Well done. So she used how long and she used the word known. How long have you known the security guard? Museum director, how about you tell us, how long have you known the security guard?
I've known the security guard since 2015.
Since 2013.
Wow.
Wow, that's a very long time. No wonder you trust your security guard.
Exactly what I thought as well.
Okay, very good. Well done, Elena, for answering that correctly using the word since. Let's look at the next one. Who shall we question next? Let's question the museum educator. Now, if we look at our charts earlier, the museum educator is the only one who doesn't have the keys, while all of the rest have the keys. Is it because the museum educator is new there, or I don't know. Perhaps we should ask her a question.
Okay.
Right? Let's have maybe Zarif to ask a question using the keywords here.
How long have you worked at the museum?
How long have you worked at the museum? That's a correct sentence, Zarif. Thank you.
Excellent
Well
job.
done. So Zarif says, how long have you worked at the Royal Museum? Maybe museum educator, you can tell us, how long have you worked here?
I have in the Royal Museum since 1 month.
Since 1 month ago. Okay, Jia Xuan, would you like to repeat your answer? I have worked at the Royal Museum since a month ago.
I have worked in the Royal Museum since a month.
Okay, very good. Since a month ago. So now from her answer, we can say that perhaps she is fairly new. She has not gotten any keys and maybe that rules her out as a suspect.
Yeah.
What do you think, Agent 018?
I think so too.
So
Yeah?
maybe not her?
Maybe not her.
Let's
because-
continue to question our suspects. Well done, Jia Xuan.
Well
Okay,
done.
next, let's question the security guard. In our witness statement, our witness waited for 10 minutes until the security guard came, right? He took 10 minutes to arrive at the scene because he was in the toilet. Oh, so let's ask him a question using these keywords here. How long? And in the toilet. Perhaps we can have Elena to ask a question.
How long have you been in the toilet?
How long have you been in the toilet? That's a correct question, Elena. Or we can also say, how long were you in the toilet? Okay, this is accepted as well. So, Mr. Security Guard, would you like to tell us how long were you in the toilet?
I was in the toilet for 7 minutes.
For 7 minutes. Okay, I heard Wei Kern answering, I have been in the toilet for 7 minutes. And that is the correct use of the word for because he is telling us the duration of time. I wonder if he had a diarrhea. He was in there for 7 minutes.
Oh,
That's quite
no.
long.
Yeah.
Okay, but very good, Wei Kern. So next, we only have one more suspect to question,
That's right.
which is the artist.
Aha.
Now, the entry log showed the artist entering the gallery but not exiting. So now we want to know why. Let's question the artist. Can we have maybe Wei Kern? Would you like to question the artist using the keywords here? How long in the gallery?
How long were you in the gallery?
Okay, thank you, Wei Kern. That's correct. How long were you in the gallery? Okay, maybe Mr. Artist, would you like to answer this question?
I was in the gallery for 8 hours.
Oh, is that right, Mr. Artist? He said that he had been in the gallery for 8 hours. Now that's surprising. Our record did not show that he had been in the gallery for 8 hours. Okay, but let's hold our thoughts there. So we have interviewed all our suspects.
Yep.
We have used the word for and since. We have also practiced to ask questions using the word how long. So for that, little agents, you have done very, very well. That leads us to
Number 4.
step closer to solving our mystery.
All right, so let's just give a tick over here. I've questioned all the suspects. And again, the 4 suspects that we have questioned, who were they again?
They were the museum director, the museum educator,
Okay.
the artist, and the security guard.
All right. And what kind of, maybe you could also summarize what kind of clues we have gathered so far from the time we have begun up till now after questioning the suspect.
That's a good idea, Sean. For those of you who are watching and you cannot remember what are the clues that we have gathered, so first, we know what is the crime, where it happened,
Yes.
and when it happened, right? It happened at 8 p.m., remember? Okay, and the observations that we have gathered in our crime scene here today, we know that the glass isn't broken.
That's right.
We know that there's a footprint.
Aha.
And we know that
We have a set of keys.
there's a
on the
set
floor.
of keys on the floor, right? Now, if you have this worksheet earlier, you would be able to see that it is also stated the type of footprint for each suspect here.
That's
So I want you to look at the clues that you have gathered, and then we will ask you later who you think the criminal is. All
That's
right?
right.
We have also gathered their access card log data, so we know when they have entered or exited the gallery.
Okay, so I'll give you some time, or we will give you some time to really examine all the clues as well as all the statements as provided by our key suspects. We're going to take a short break while you do that. Back to you after this on Didik TV KPM.
Didik TV KPM.
You are now watching Level 2 on Didik TV KPM together with me, Sean Stephen, or Secret Agent 018, as well as Secret Agent 017, Miss Ching. Alright, what shall we do for this part?
Okay, if that's all right with you, Sean, I'm going to just do a little recap of what we have done so far.
Okay.
So earlier we have learned about cool jobs in the museum. Specifically for this lesson, what are some of the cool jobs in the museum? But of course, there are many other cool jobs out there.
Yeah.
Right? And the second thing is we have observed, we have gathered clues, and we have written down some information in our case file. And the third thing we have done today is we have learned how to use for and since in a sentence. We have also learned how to ask questions using or starting with how long.
Yes.
And the fourth thing we have done is we have also questioned four main suspects in this case. They are the museum director, the museum educator, the security guard, and the artist. So now, based on their answers, we are now at the final stage.
That's
we are
right.
about to solve the crime. All right, but before we do that, I would like you to just take a look back at our case file, okay? Just a little refresher. Take a look at the case file and yeah, just focus there a little bit. Have a look at what you have written so far so that you could, so that you can make a guess who you think the criminal is.
I think I will also just read out really quickly what is already on the case file.
Go ahead.
So that we can also kind of summarize and also have a better clue or understanding of who the suspect could be. So where did the crime happen? It happened at the what we call the Royal Museum of Art and Antiques. It also happened, well, the crown has been stolen. That's of course the main crime, and it happened on the 5th of July 2022 at 8 p.m. And based on the observation that all of our secret agents online or our pupils online mentioned that the glass isn't broken, there is a pair of footprints, or not a pair, sorry, a footprint, and also a set of keys on the floor. And from the what we call the case file, we can also see the suspects, of which Miss Ching has mentioned. We got the museum director, the security guard, the artist, as well as the museum educator. All of them also stating, if you didn't notice as well, cue number 3 is also the type of footprints. So there are 2 types of footprints over there, and maybe you can also give a guess. If you can see the footprint on the floor is also a certain type of footprint.
Okay, I think they are ready to make their guess.
Oh yes.
Okay, I see some of them nodding their heads. They are very certain they know who the criminal is. So maybe let's ask them who would like to give it a go. Who wants to make a guess? Who you think stole the crown? Okay, Wei Kern, go ahead.
I think the artist stole the crown because he did not have any access card because he dropped on the floor.
Okay, wow, that's a very good observation, Wei Kern. He says that it could be the artist who stole the crown because he did not have an exit time. And he did not have an exit time because probably it was his access card that is on the floor together with his set of keys. It could be, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe he's just forgetful. I don't know. Maybe he did not punch out when he exited the museum.
Things happen.
That's a good observation, Wei Kern. So 1 vote for the artist. Anyone else wants to try?
Yes, Zarif is raising his hand.
I think the artist stole the crown because the footprints that we found doesn't match the security guard's footprints.
Okay, thank you, Zarif. That's another good observation. His footprint matches the footprint that is found at the crime scene. That must be something, right? Thank you, Zarif. Let's have maybe 1 or 2 more. Who would like to make a guess? Yes, Alena?
I think the artist is the one that stole the crown because the footprints that we found is very similar to the artist.
The footprint as well? Okay, very good. So we got 2 answers giving us the same reason, which is the footprint. Okay, that looks like a very strong clue right there. Anyone else wants to give me any other answers, any observation? Jashuan, you unmuted yourself. You want to say something? Oh no, wait. I saw it wrongly. Do you want to tell me who you think is the one who stole the crown?
I think it's artist
Why? Why do you think it's the artist too?
because the artist have a key and he can open the glass.
Okay, wow, very
Okay.
good. Jashuan says it's the artist because the artist has got a set of keys. I think think it's the artist too, because the artist lied about being in the gallery for 8 hours. I don't think he was there for 8 hours.
Yes.
He came in at 7:45, and the eyewitness statement says that there was no one there.
That's true.
Okay, so now, before I give you the quote, I actually have a quote for you. But before I give you the quote, I just want to ask you, what have you learned in today's lesson? After everything we have done, yes, Waken, what have you learned in today's lesson?
We learn how to use since and for using in sentences.
Very good, that's right. We learned how to use for and since in a sentence, especially to talk about time, right? Yes, Zarif.
I've learned about cool jobs in the museum.
Yeah.
Learned about many cool jobs in the museum? Yeah, I know. Some of these jobs are probably not very common to us, right? And it's something new that we learned. That's good. Okay, how about one more to tell us what have you learned in today's lesson?
Anyone would like to try? Okay, looks like I guess the other two secret agents has already kind of summed it up. So I think they are also very excited to find out what the secret code is.
Okay, so before I give them the secret code, I
Alright.
just want to tell them what I liked about their performance today, because they have done very well. I like that they are very inquisitive, and they also did not jump to conclusions.
That's right.
They gave us very sound reasoning. So that is something that I learned in today's lesson, to always look for the reason and not to jump to conclusions. So now, because of that, boys and girls, you deserve the secret code.
Oh.
Here you go. Okay,
Something
fix
that
your
we have
eyes
to
on the
decipher
screen.
as well.
You have to decipher this code, and we are going to find out who the criminal is. I'll give you a little while.
So based on what you have shown on screen, so that means letter A represents number 1, and so on and so forth, all the way till the alphabet Z, which is number 26. So we have to match
Yes,
the
you're
numbers
right.
to the alphabets to come up with that secret message.
Yes, you're right. So every letter has got their individual numbers. We are just going to replace the numbers with the letters, and we'll get the answer.
Alright, let's see whether any of our secret agents online can already tell us what that secret code or secret message is. Anyone would like to try? I guess they're still deciphering it to make sure that
make sure they
the
got it
message
right.
is ready. And also for those of you watching at home, you can also give it a try. Once you are done, secret agents, you can already raise your hand, and we'll see.
I
who
see
has it right.
Elena smiling away. Have you got the secret code? Anyone like to unmute and tell us what is the answer?
Okay, looking at them, they are really focusing and finding out so far. But yes, has been a very interesting lesson indeed.
Yes, I see.
Yes, we have Zarif over here.
Okay, maybe we can ask him. What have you got, Zarif?
I think the secret code is saying arrest the artist.
Arrest the artist. Is that right? Let's have a look. You're right. And the artist is guilty. Well done, all of you. You have solved the crime together. So
That's
that
right.
means that we have achieved our final task for today.
Well done, everyone, and thank you so much to our secret agent, Agent 017, for leading the case, and of course, Miss Ching for this wonderful lesson. For those of you watching as well, hopefully it's been beneficial to you. But before we continue, if let's say they want to get the source as well as enhancement exercises, from where can they get this?
Thank you, Sean. For those of you who are watching at home, if you want the materials and you want the notes, you want to know where can you get more practice, remember to visit Sumberku.
That's right. Make sure you check that out, and also we'll see you next time in our next class. Till then, take care and bye!